Hi, Shannon Calles here, host of From Overwhelmed to Relieved, the Senior Caregiving Podcast. When did you last do something that was just for you? Not for your mom, not for your kids, not for your job, just for you. If you had to think about that for more than 2 seconds, this episode is for you. Because here's what I've noticed after years of working with caregiving daughters. The woman who is the most loving, the most present, the most capable caregiver, she is also the one who has almost nothing left for herself. And that's not notable. That's a crisis waiting to happen. Welcome back to From Overwhelmed to Relieved, the Senior Caregiving Podcast. I'm your host, Shannon Calles, Senior Care Consultant, Advocate, Certified Dementia Practitioner, and someone who has walked this caregiving path both personally and professionally. This is the podcast where we break down senior care decisions, talk honestly about dementia and caregiving, and help adult daughters find relief while taking clear, loving action. Because you deserve to get your mom the care she deserves without losing yourself in the process. If you're juggling your own life, work, marriage, kids, while trying to care for a parent with a complex need, if you're exhausted, overwhelmed, and secretly wondering how much longer you can keep doing this, you're in the right place. This is where we speak truth with tenderness, accept the messy realities of caregiving, and remind you that choosing yourself and loving your parent isn't selfish. It's necessary. Let me tell you about Denise. Denise called me Tuesday morning. She'd barely slept. Her mom had been up most of the night, confused, calling out for people who weren't there. Denise had an 8 a.m. work meeting, 2 kids who needed lunch packed, and a husband who had no idea how to help her. When I asked her, "What did you do lately to take care of yourself?" she laughed, but it wasn't a happy laugh. It was an exhausted laugh. You know, the one we do when something is so far from reality that all we can do is really laugh at the absurd question of it, right? Self-care, she said. Shannon, I haven't had a full cup of coffee in 3 weeks. I see Denise in so many of you, and I need to say this clearly today. What Denise is experiencing is not exhaustion, it's depletion. And depletion has consequences for your health, for your relationships, for your ability to make clear decisions for your mom, and yes, for your mom's care itself. The problem is self-care has gotten a bad reputation. We've turned it into bubble baths and face masks and pedicure. And while there's nothing wrong with any of those things, true self-care goes much deeper than that. For caregiving daughters who've been conditioned to believe that our needs come last, that's putting yourself first is selfish, that a good daughter sacrifices everything. But here's the truth that nobody tells you. In those early caregiving days, your well-being is not separate from your mother's well-being. It is directly tied to it. When you fall apart, the whole system falls apart. Studies on caregiver health consistently show that caregivers are at a significantly higher risk for depression, anxiety, social isolation, and physical illness that non-caregivers have. One study found that family caregivers report their health is fair or poor at nearly twice the rate of non-caregivers. And caregiver burnout is one of the leading contributors to crisis placement, meaning mom ends up in a facility under emergency circumstances rather than a thoughtful, planned transition. This is not a guilt trip. This is a wake-up call. Taking care of you is taking care of mom. Full stop. So today, I want you to reframe what self-care looks like for the caregiving daughter, not as a luxury, not as a once-in-a-while treat, but as a non-negotiable that keeps you in the game. Here are 7 types of care that you actually deserve and that I'm inviting you to start reclaiming. Number 1, physical care. Your body is working overtime. Sleep deprivation, skipping meals, tension carried in your body, your shoulders, your jaw. Your body is keeping score even when you're not paying attention. Physical care does not mean training for a marathon. Trust me, I'm not training for a marathon. It means asking, am I sleeping? Am I eating? Am I moving my body in a way that feels good? Do I have a doctor to see me for my own health? Not just coordinating care for someone else. A simple starting place. All you have to do is commit to 10 minutes of movement a day. walk around the block, some stretching in your living room, not to lose weight, not to perform, just to remind you that your body matters too. One of the things I do is my mailbox is on the corner. So I will not take my phone, grab my keys, go to the mailbox, and instead of turning around to come back, I just walk around the block and come back in just for a little tiny reset. 2, emotional care. Caregiving is an emotional gauntlet of grief, of guilt, of anger, of love, of fear. Sometimes all of those in a single hour. And most of us stuff them down because there's no time to feel them and no safe place to put them. Emotional care means giving yourself permission to feel what you feel without judgment. It means saying it out loud. I'm grieving. I'm scared. I'm angry. And that is okay. It might mean finding a therapist, a support group, a trusted friend, or a community of women who get it. I'm going to give you a little hint. That's exactly why I started the Strong Daughters Club. This is for you to go in and just get it out of your head. You are not designed to carry this alone. 3, mental health. Your brain is in overdrive. You're managing medical decisions, family dynamics, logistics, your own job, your home. Decision fatigue is real and mental exhaustion is real. We can only handle so much information. Mental care means protecting your cognitive bandwidth. That looks like writing things down so your brain isn't holding everything in. It looks like learning to say no to things that aren't yours to carry. Getting it out of your backpack is what I call, if it's in my backpack, is it mine or is it somebody else's? It's looking like giving yourself permission to not have all the answers right now. One powerful practice is at the end of each day, write down the 3 things that are actually your responsibility. Just 3. Everything else gets to wait. 4, social care. Caregiving is profoundly isolating. The social life you had before slowly shrinks as your caregiving responsibilities grow. Your plans are canceled. You stop calling your friends. You feel like nobody understands what you're going through. Social care means staying connected, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Connection is not a luxury. It's a biological need. We are wired for it. That connection doesn't have to be a big night out. It can be 15 minutes on a phone call with somebody who makes you laugh. It can be showing up to a gathering of women who are walking the same road as you, which means, by the way, is exactly why I'm so passionate about our in-person Strong Daughter events that we hold on a personal level where we show up. There is something irreplaceable about being in a room with women who don't need you to explain yourself, women who get it. I want to personally invite you to join us on May 19th, 2026, Founders Mercantile Coffee in Vancouver from 5 to 7 p.m. No agenda, no pressure, just a gathering of strong women, strong daughters who are done carrying it alone. I will drop the link in the show notes. Please come join us. 5, spiritual care. I'm not here to tell you what you want to believe, but I am here to tell you that most of the caregiving daughters I know have lost their sense of meaning and connection to something bigger than the to-do list. Spiritual care is anything that reconnects you to what matters. For some of you, it's faith. For others, it's nature. I love to just take off and go for a walk. I walk right through the conservatory and I hear the birds and it just brings me peace. Or music, or stillness, or prayer, or journaling, or just 10 minutes of quiet before the house wakes up. I always tell my adult daughters, my real daughters, my biological daughters, to always wake up before they wake up the house. That way you have a moment of true quiet for yourself, a moment where you're not problem solving or worrying about planning. Even 5 minutes of intentional stillness can shift your entire nervous system. Then by the time you wake up your kids or by the time you start working with your mom and dad, you are at a place where you can breathe. 6, creative care. This one surprises people, but here's what I know. We are creative beings. And when we stop creating in whatever form it takes for us, something inside us dims. Creative care is cooking a meal you love. It's listening to music that moves you. It's writing, painting, gardening, crafting, decorating, or anything that produces something that uses your hands or imagination. It doesn't have to be a big commitment. One small thing you used to love doing that you've completely abandoned since caregiving took over. You can do even a small version of something this week. A little while ago, I went out and watered my plants. That 5 to 10 minutes of standing there watering my plants in complete silence helps me because I love to see things bloom. 7, identity care. This is the one that breaks my heart the most because so many caregiving daughters have completely lost themselves. They introduce themselves as mother's daughter before they introduce themselves as who they are. They've forgotten what they like, what they want, what their dreams are, and who they were before all of this started. Identity care is the radical act of remembering that you are a whole human being, not just a caregiver. You have needs, desires, options, and a future that matters. Simply ask yourself, if I had 1 hour this week that was completely mine, what would I do with it? Not what should I do with it? Not what's productive. What would I want to do? That is an answer and is a clue to who you still are. I want to tell you about a version of Denise a few months down the road. She started small. She committed to a 10-minute walk in the morning before the chaos of the day began. She joined the Strong Daughters Club and started showing up online first and then in person. She started saying no to one thing a week that wasn't hers to carry. She still had hard days. Yes, she did. Giving doesn't stop being hard just because you take care of yourself. But she told me something that stuck with me. She said, I feel like I am a person again, not just someone's caregiver, an actual person. That's what we're after. Not a complete life overhaul, just reclaiming personhood, right? One small act of self-care at a time. Trust me, I go to a lot of networking events and I always say not for a return on investment or to find somebody that needs senior care or wants to be on my podcast. I go for that connection with other women who just get me. That's it. And it fills my cup. It fills me. This week's challenge, I'm giving you a gentle but powerful challenge. 3 steps. That's it. Step 1, pick one of the 7 types of care from today's episode, just one, write it down, decide one concrete, tiny action that you'll take this week from that area. Not a big overhaul, just one thing. A 10-minute walk, one phone call, 5 minutes of stillness, one creative act, one thing that is just for you. Step 2, tell someone, whether it's your partner, a friend, a woman in the Strong Daughters Club, say it out loud. This week, I am taking care of myself by doing the accountability is magic. Share it publicly. Post it on your Instagram. Use the caption, I deserve care too, because you do. And saying it out loud matters. You'll be surprised at the responses you get. This week's mantra, I am not just a caregiver. I am a whole person and my care matters too. If today's episode resonated with you, I want to tell you about something that was built specifically for you. On May 19th, from 5 to 7, I'm hosting a Strong Daughters Club first meetup at the Founders Mercantile Coffee right here in Vancouver, Washington. This is a free in-person gathering for adult daughters who are caregiving or have caregived before, or they know it's coming. No agenda, no speakers, no presentations, just a room full of women who understand what it's like to love somebody deeply while also being completely exhausted by it. A space to exhale, to be connected, to be reminded that you're not alone. The link to the RSVP will be in the show notes. I would love to meet you in person. And if you're not local or if May 19th doesn't work, we have the Strong Daughters Club, a free Facebook community where this kind of connection happens every single week. You can join us. Just Google or just search in Facebook, Strong Daughters Club will pop right up. I'll also put the link here in the show notes. I also go live sometimes. Like I went live and it was a complete disaster and so chaotic. But you know what? I got so much encouragement that I will be dropping in live soon to get back in there to introduce myself If this episode felt like it was speaking directly to you, it was. You don't have to figure this out alone. And here's the truth. You're not supposed to. Caregiving is not a solo journey, and trying to handle everything yourself is exactly what leads to burnout, resentment, and regret. So let me help you. If you're in crisis, hospital discharge, decline, dementia, confusion, book an urgent appointment with me, Shannon at clarkcountysr.com, or just text me and say, I need you. I need to call. Can I call you right now? Most likely I will say yes. Next week, we're tackling another tough caregiving reality that no one talks enough about. You won't want to miss it. Thank you for being here. And until then, be gentle with yourself.